What up, guys? This is Cheevo Guides back here again with another achievement guide. Today we're going to be focusing on Flat Kingdom Paper Cut Edition. This game is published by Ratalaika Games and it's developed by Game Starter. This game is a super easy 25-minute completion or platinum trophy. And on top of that, the game's only $7.99. This game is a cool little 2D platformer. We don't necessarily need to complete the game, nor even get that far in the game. We simply just need to make it a little farther than the second boss. After you defeat the second boss, you should have one achievement left for defeating an enemy with 2 or more shapes. And after that second boss, you basically end up in this beach level where eventually you'll encounter this crab enemy. And if you defeat that enemy, you'll unlock your final achievement called Complicated Foe worth 80 gamer score. Now, along the way, we're going to be unlocking a bunch of other achievements as the game does have 12 achievements in total. You get an achievement after changing your shape 10 times. You get an achievement after beating a square enemy, a triangle enemy, and a circle enemy. You get an achievement after finishing your first side quest, after using your 3 forms to fight, after activating your first checkpoint. You do get one for getting a game over, so you're going to need to die at least 1 time. And then as mentioned earlier, we have 2 achievements related to defeating bosses. After you defeat that second boss, you get an achievement for getting your first special ability. This is the Learning the Ropes achievement worth 80 gamer score. So again, after you defeat that second boss, you'll only have 1 achievement left, and that's for defeating an enemy with 2 or more shapes. You're going to start off in the beach level. You want to play a little bit and you're going to encounter a crab enemy, defeat that enemy, and you'll get your final achievement, giving you a pretty easy 1000 gamer score or platinum trophy. You're going to find that based off of my footage, this only takes about 23 minutes or so. But of course, you may die a few times along the way, which is okay because again, we do get an achievement for getting 1 game over. Before I go, I want to go ahead and explain how the game works. You're going to encounter different kinds of enemies that have different kinds of shapes. And basically what this game comes down to is it sort of has a paper, rock, scissors mechanic. Certain shapes beat certain shapes. So for example, to defeat a square enemy, you're going to need to turn to the circle. Or to defeat a triangle enemy, you need to change into a square. Or to defeat a circle enemy, you need to turn into a triangle. And that's basically how it works. The beginning of the game is the tutorial. It's going to teach you how to defeat each of the shapes. And after you change your shape 10 times, you're going to unlock the Shapeshifter achievement worth 80 gamer score. And not only that, you're going to unlock 3 achievements along the way after defeating 3 of the different shape enemies. Now, one big tip I can give you if you want to complete this in under 30 minutes is avoid getting the coins. You don't really need to go for the coins. I know the achievement hunter and collector in you might want to pick them up, like I tended to when I started the game. However, none of the achievements are related to collecting these coins. The only thing that you're used for is to, purchase upgrades and things like that, which you don't need. You don't really need to get far enough into the game to need to purchase anything at all. So really the coins are pretty much useless for us in terms of getting the achievements. So I would maybe just get the ones that are in front of you along the way, but I definitely wouldn't go out of your way to get any coins as it's really not necessary for the achievements or trophies. So what we want to do right here is activate each of the switches, and they're activated via your shape. As you can see, the switches have a shape at the top of them. So the one in the upper left is square. It's a blue square right there. And then the one on the upper right is a pink triangle. So go ahead and press all 3 switches or levers. And then after that, you're going to end up talking to this NPC. Go ahead and just smash A through it, unless you want to read it, of course. Alright, so next it's going to introduce combat to us. Now, this game basically has a paper, rock, scissors mechanic to it. Basically, the way it works is circle beats square, square beats triangle, and triangle beats circle. And that's what you need to remember in terms of defeating enemies in this game. It shows right there on the wall. So if you see a square enemy, you want to turn to your circle form. And all you have to do is run into them to defeat them. So just remember, circle beats square. So to defeat this square enemy, I'm going to turn to the circle and run into him. After that, the game's going to let you know that only the square shape can go ahead and push shapes. So if you want to go ahead and push something like that, you need to turn to the square. I want to point out that one of the advantages of being the circle is that you have double jump. Now, this is a triangle enemy, and square beats triangle in this game. So make sure if you see any triangle shaped enemies that you turn to your square form. Now we have a circle enemy, and we're going to need to use our triangle form. So go ahead and switch to triangle and just jump into it, and we'll be able to take the key. After that, go ahead and grab the key, and this is the key to basically exit the tutorial. So we just need to make our way upward until we get to the top, and there should be an NPC we could talk to. Now, if you guys haven't noticed already, the achievements tend to pop a little bit delayed. I think they're delayed by like 15 seconds or so. So you'll find that in this footage, achievements are popping delayed. For instance, I just got the achievement for beating a triangle enemy. However, I defeated that enemy probably 15 or 20 seconds ago. So if your achievements don't pop right away, don't freak out. They'll end up popping in a few seconds or so. After you're done with the tutorial, you want to make your way up here and talk to this guy. He's going to open the gate and you'll be able to advance to the main part of the game. This is going to take you to the map, and from the map, you can choose different levels. We're going to start off by playing the first level. Now, every time you start a new level, you're going to end up in a sort of market area. In my experience playing the game, I never really need to talk to anybody or purchase anything, so I really wouldn't waste your time. Also, once you get to this area, your achievement should pop for finishing your first side quest. So just follow along with where I'm going. To move any type of blocks around, you need to change to the square, and then you need to change back to the circle because the circle can double jump. And from here, like any other 2D side scroller, we need to just continue on to the right hand side, and eventually we're going to get our first checkpoint, in which will unlock an achievement or trophy for doing so. Now, eventually, you're going to encounter a checkpoint. They're actually checkpoint guards, and every time you walk past one, it will activate them, and you'll end up getting an achievement after activating your first checkpoint guard. Now, what I went ahead and did next is I just went to the bottom of this pit, and I went ahead and let this enemy kill me, because again, we have an achievement related to dying, getting a game over, and when better to do that than after a checkpoint. So after you activate your checkpoint, just go down there, have the enemy kill you, you get your achievement for getting a game over, and we can go ahead and continue forward. Now at this point, we should already have 8 of the 12 achievements. We only have to defeat the 2 bosses, get a special ability, which you get after defeating the second boss, and then the one I mentioned 2 different times earlier, which is for defeating an enemy with 2 or more shapes. Basically, you just have to defeat whatever shape they are at that current time. Specifically, the one that's going to give you an achievement is a crab enemy at the beginning of that beach level, and after you defeat it, you'll get that last achievement. In the meantime, we're going to be making our way through the first 2 levels, and we're going to defeat 2 different bosses. So go ahead and stay tuned with the video if you need to see where to go or you're having any trouble proceeding through the game. Aside from that, I gave you guys all the tips and tricks you guys need to know in terms of getting this 1000 gamer score. I'd say you're fully prepared to go ahead and do this yourself. I also want to note that the game had some in-game music that unfortunately I didn't mute, and basically I can't have it on YouTube without getting it demonetized, so I'm going to go ahead and mute the rest of the footage, but the footage is here just in case you guys need it. So I'm going to go ahead and end the commentary right here, as no more commentary is needed, but as always, I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Alright guys, you should have just defeated the second boss, which was the giant spider. At this point, we should have only one achievement left, and that's for defeating an enemy with two different shapes. This is actually going to be at the beginning of the next level, and it's going to be a crab enemy, so just make sure that you look out for that. I'll tune back in with some commentary once we get close. Alright guys, so we should be able to get our final achievement or trophy towards the beginning of this next level. We just need to make it past this marketplace area, and basically what we want to do is look out for this crab enemy. The enemy is pretty much unavoidable, and from what I know, this is the only multi-shape enemy so far in the game. I'm sure there's more as you continue through the game, but I believe this is the first one. After you defeat this crab enemy, you'll end up unlocking your final achievement, and hopefully you'll have the full 1000G or Platinum trophy. Alright guys, so we should be able to find our first multi-shape enemy right after this cliff right here. It's going to be this hermit crab right here. At first it's a square, so you're going to need to use your circle shape. And then they're going to turn to circle, which means we need to turn to triangle. After you turn to triangle, you'll defeat the enemy. and after the delayed pop, you'll end up unlocking the achievement, giving you the full 1000 gamer score or platinum trophy. Thanks again for tuning in, and make sure that you check out the channel for more achievement guides. As always, I'd like to give a huge thank you to all of my Patreon subscribers. We just hit 16 patrons. I'd like to give a special shout out to everybody in the biggest fan club, including TimG84, AOJ, Kegger101, Kana25, Michael Benksa, Curse Souls, and GamerTagNation.com. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe.